Good morning. This is BJ from Out and About on Recumbents. Right now we are on the Rock Island Trail heading east towards Powers Boulevard. Thought I'd show you this little rock formation here. Give you something to look at better than me. And yeah, so this is going to be a dirt trail here that a lot of horses and mountain bikers like to use. This is the actual trail. There comes somebody right there. Howdy. And this is the main east-west trail for the eastern half of Colorado Springs at the moment. There's our trikes. We stopped, there's the trail going down, and then we got to go up a couple of really big hills, so we'll be shutting down the camera to do the hills, but yeah, give you a view of the trikes here. We stopped here to eat our morning snack. With Joe being a type 2 diabetic, we kind of have to make sure she has a little food in her every couple hours. Ah, there's Joe right there. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down so we can get up those big hills. It's really hard for me to get up hills and hold this camera at the same time. I'm old. Now this video has a purpose. This is clear camera case test number 2. Last time I just had the large opening in the side taped up. This time I actually taped up the large opening, and I taped over the microphone hole in my new clear case. So I'm hoping that because it has the open window in back, because I guess the GoPro 4s have a touch screen on the back, where I just have a viewing screen attachment, and but that the back is actually open. You know, with the touch screen you'd have to have it open, so that way we can that way I'm hoping there'll be enough you know, of an opening from the back that you'll still be able to hear me. And if you can't hear me very well, then I'll probably just put music on it, and I'll know that yeah, that's not going to work. And we're just going to have to put up a little wind noise from the microphone hole in the clear case. Alright, well, like I said, I'm going to walk back up here. Just kind of a nice little place to stop. And oh, poor Joe. She has the weirdest thing. Her chain, when she backs up sometimes, just pops off. And nobody seems to be able to fix it. Alright, so we'll get back to you later. Bye. Okay, well, hopefully I turned it on like I'm supposed to. It's hard to tell from the back because when it's really sunny, this older rear view doesn't work all that well. But yeah, so we're back up on the flats now, so I gotta give you a little preview and keep testing this covered case. But yeah, so like I said, this is the Rock Island Trail. Thank you. And pretty much the main east-west trail. Well, all the way up to Powers Boulevard, and that's where it dead ends at the moment. Eventually it will, supposedly it's supposed to go underneath Powers, and then eventually work its way out to where it hooks up way out east. Like, go ahead, Joe. Like the outside of Falcon, Colorado, which used to be a tiny little town, more like a tiny little village, but now it's pretty much just a suburb of eastern Colorado Springs. I mean to tell you, they've really filled eastern Colorado Springs. It's all, you know, the places where Falcon is the places where all the housing is around Falcon now, you know, we used to ride motorcycles out there, you know. So yeah, it's quite a bit different, and it's so strange because, you know, we are growing in every way. We are growing a little west. We can only grow so far west before we run into stuff, and you know, and north's the same way. It probably won't be too long before Colorado Springs annexes the little town of Monument and Palmer Lake, and then but east, well, all there is out east is east of Colorado Springs is basically Kansas, okay? I mean, that's just the way it is. They can call it Colorado because it's in the state, but it's Kansas. It's flat, it's hot, it's dry most of the time. Except for this year, and they probably got more of the tropical rains than we got this year. And we got a lot. Of course, it's good out there for them, except for they can't get too much because, you know, I don't know if you ever heard about there's a little town out there called Rocky Ford, and they're very famous for their watermelons, cantaloupes, whatever that other honeydew melons, yeah, and peppers and all that. Not the chili peppers per se, but more like the red and green type peppers, the bell type peppers. They do they probably do a lot of chili peppers out there too, though, come to think about it. Yeah, I got a big bump I'm coming up here because we're transitioning off the concrete onto the miserable gravel. I hate gravel, the purple passion. I don't really hate it, but it's annoying. It's dirty, and it dirties up your trike and dirties up your chain. And I know, wine, wine, wine. And yes, I would like some cheese with that wine, please. Thank you. And then, yeah, for some reason we had this one little tiny piece of concrete. We're back to the dirt. Well, we're almost to Powers Boulevard, the current end, as I've said. And there's only two ways you can, well, you can head down an access road about halfway to Palmer Park, and then you got to get up on Powers Boulevard, which is an 8-lane road you do not want to be on a bicycle for very long. That's for damn sure. Oh, Joe, we got a motorbike. We're gonna let him by. And technically, they're not supposed to ride those on these type of trails, but you can't stop people. There's not enough, you know, I mean, there's hardly any park rangers or law enforcement that's going to do anything about it, so you just have to put up with them. At least he didn't try to run us over or anything. Okay, a really huge bump right here. Okay, left. What we're going to do, you know, it hasn't rained much, so we're going to take the dirt. Just watch out for, you know, cacti and crap like that. As you can tell, oh, didn't expect traffic. Yeah, this is Powers Boulevard right here, and it is major. Yeah. So we get stuck on this miserable dirt path because I don't know why, but the city will not, you know, I've asked them to just, you know, throw down some asphalt on this trail. They don't have to do anything to it, just throw asphalt on it. And they won't do it. They just flat refuse. Because if they at least put asphalt on this little trail here, you could get over to Constitution Avenue, which would be great, because this, you know, right across Constitution Avenue is several restaurants, you know, stores, and one of the largest mall setups in Colorado Springs. But city won't do it. I don't understand it. Left. So this is just, you know, this is just a trail. It's not a bike trail. It's not a rail trail. It's just a trail that got made in here so people could get up to Constitution. But it's very rough. It's got rocks and old bricks and all kinds of stuff. You gotta be really careful not to get, you know, stuff in your tires and stuff. We have good tires, but you know, it's like anything. You get a big nail or a cactus needle, and that'll do just about anything in. Don't matter what kind of tire you got. Because they say that the Marathon Plus, the Schwab Marathon Pluses are, oh, this is miserable, are, you know, flat proof. They lie. They're about as good as you can get, but they are not flat proof. Yeah, this is miserable, I'll tell you. It really is. I'm bouncing all over the place. Having to ride in the damn rough. Oh, man. Well, I know next time not to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to do something illegal. We're going to put the bikes out on the emergency lane and ride the wrong way on Powers up to Constitution here, because this is ridiculous. This is hard on the trikes. But we're almost there, so you got to keep going till we get there. On the way back, we'll be taking the road, and then I have to lift the trikes up over a concrete embankment or a concrete curb to get back on the trail. But at least the last time I came up here, they didn't have any of these intersections, sidewalk intersections fixed yet. They were all mud. So at least they got these done. So that's at least kind of an improvement. But I really don't understand why they won't. Yeah. Okay. Well, as you can see, it's getting rough. I got to turn off. So we'll catch you later. Bye. Okay, we're back. We had a couple of errands. Well, first of all, we went over to get an unsweetened iced tea to go with our brown bag lunch, which is, that's what we do most of the time because we really don't have the money to eat out very often. So we bring a brown bag, and usually it's peanut butter and sugar-free jelly. Some really good I can't remember what they call those things. They're like a bean, but they're covered in type of a real mild barbecue sauce. A lentil, there we go, a lentil bean, and they're baked. They're not fried, and they're covered in a real mild sauce and barbecue sauce, and we really like them. We prefer them over, you know, potato chips and everything else there is out there. Go ahead, babe. So we're back on the Rock Island, just kind of doing a there and back. Sorry I had to leave you there at Powers, but like I said, that's an 8-lane road, and it's really dangerous. You know, you got to have your wits around you all the time. You don't need to be trying to take a video. There's a dirt path over there. I don't know where that goes. I'm gonna have to check that out someday. Maybe it's another way to get in there. Maybe we could get over to Constitution without having to go down Powers, or that really horrible dirt path. I mean, that thing is just brutal. It's like they got benches and, like I said, it's definitely a nice trail. Nothing wrong with it at all. Yeah, we ate our lunch and then over at Panera Bread across the street, well, across Powers at the First Main Shopping Center. I think it's like First Main and Center. You know, it's not really. It's very modern, you know, and it's huge. I mean, it goes for like about, I'd say probably 6 city blocks, you know, long, and probably at least 3 or 4 city blocks wide. And they've got it. You have to cross major streets to get there, but they've got about everything you can think of. Let me bring you back over here. Got a little pretty good views. That's some of the tall foothills here. They're not mountains because they have trees on the top. Okay, at least here in Colorado, it's not a mountain unless it has a tree line, which means there's no trees on the top. Although that one that you really can't see, but it's round top up there, and it's got a bunch of TV antennas on it. They call that Cheyenne Mountain because they have Cheyenne Mountain State Park, and at the base, and then you can now, there's a trail that now goes all the way to the summit. But before, you couldn't get that tall. We're all going downhill now, and kind of bumpy older concrete, but I'll take the bumpy older concrete over dirt or bumpy old asphalt any day. Yeah, I'm hitting like 22.5 miles an hour. And this isn't even the big downhill. So when I go to the big downhill, I'm going to have to put my hand on this brake and hold this camera at the same time. So it's definitely gonna jump up and down. Okay, there's not a thing I can do about it. Because yeah, once I can probably hit. Well, if I let it go, I could probably hit 30 miles an hour by the time I got to the bottom of the hill. But I don't want it to go. I don't like going that fast. That's just not our thing. We're not really speed demons at all, you know. I mean, we're just not. Sure, we'll let it rock a little bit, but okay, I'm going to put this down by my brake handle so I can at least tap this brake. So it's going to bounce like crazy, folks. Up here, real good little incline. Luckily I got smart and remembered to put it down into the climbing gear, not the granny gear, but what I call the climbing gear, which is the middle chain wheel of my triple chain wheel, which I believe is a 34 tooth chain wheel, and my largest rear cog, which I believe is a 32 or a 34. I never counted it. I think it's a 32. I don't think it's a 34. And I can do most hills in that. You know, at least most of these inclines. Serious hills, I'll probably have to drop down to the granny gear. Little bench there. We got either a corporate jet or a military jet for a general or something like that flying around here. Must be doing touch and goes for maintenance or something. see, we decided we better get out today because next 2 days is supposed to be extremely rainy. We've got tropical moisture coming up from Errand in California, and it's there's a high pressure on the other side of Colorado, and it's pulling all this tropical moisture our way. So today it wasn't supposed to start till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're usually always home by then. And we probably won't stay out too late today because it's another hot day. It's going to be 90 Fahrenheit, and like I've stated before, here in Colorado Springs, our elevation starts at a little over 6,000 feet. So in our own way, we're actually closer to the sun because of the atmospheric pressure that it puts on us because of being this high. So and we're both 68 years old, and we are not athletic, okay? We are strictly recreational and transportational cyclists, okay? We are not athletic. We don't go out here and do intervals and crunches and time trials and all that silly stuff. In fact, to be honest with you, we don't even consider our rides exercise. Yeah, the exercise is a fringe benefit, but we don't ride to exercise. We ride because we like to ride. We really enjoy riding our trikes, okay? I mean, we really enjoy it. I mean, it's not so much fun in the wind, heavy wind or the heavy winter time, but other than that, it works just fine, and we love it. The only time we really miss not being able to afford a truck or a van like we used to have a few years ago is that we can't just throw the trikes in the back and go up to like the Cherry Creek Trail system in Denver, or go down to the Pueblo State Park and ride the Arkansas River Trail, on a whim, which is a real bummer because there's some days Pueblo is actually drier than Colorado Springs, so there's some days when Colorado Springs is under the weather, but Pueblo's great. So if we had our old truck before it blew up on us and gave up and fell apart, we had our old truck, we just have it made, we just throw it in there and run down there for the day. And it was nice, and we really miss it. I mean, we really miss it. But we can't afford to rent a truck or a van because it's insane. It's like $80 to $100 just for the rental, and then it's $40 plus for the insurance per day. Yeah, this is per day, and gas and everything else. So it's just out of our reach. Okay, I had to switch hands because we're crossing Murray here, which is a very busy road. So I'm gonna force you folks to look at me instead of nothing but traffic here. Actually, I'll focus on Joe's co-pilot here. Joe should have geared down. She almost got me run over. She forgets because she has e-assist mode, and she forgets that when you get to intersections, you need to gear back down to like second gear. You need, so you can move out quick. And that's the one bad thing about e-assist. You kind of expect e-assist to do that for you, but most e-assist systems that I know of have a lag, which means between the first time you actually push the pedals and where the motor actually kicks in is a few seconds. Well, if you're in a harder gear, guess what? You don't go anywhere. Or you go very slowly. So very slowly. So yeah, you still have to remember that when you hit an intersection, you got to shift her down. Otherwise, everything else about e-assist is fantastic. If somebody tells you you're cheating, tell them to drop dead. Okay? I'm seriously, just you still have to pedal. I mean, unless you get a throttle only unit, and then you don't have a trike anymore. You have a three-wheeled motorcycle. You have a moto trike. And what's the fun in that? If I want a moto trike, it's going to have the words Harley Davidson on it. If I'm on a recumbent trike, I want to be able to pedal. I want to be able to pedal. I enjoy pedaling, you know. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's hard, you know, especially when you start to get a little older, you know. It makes you work hard, man. Sometimes the legs and the knees are like, we hate you, we hate you, we hate you. But if you just gear down and spin a little more, that usually alleviates most of the pain. Now, I have a wicked arthritis called ankylosing spondylitis, and so I have pain, you know, I have constant pain in my ankles and my knees, my neck, shoulders, elbows, and over the last few years it seems like it's worked its way into the bottom of my feet and the joints between my toes and, you know, the rest of your foot. So I ache a lot. Don't let me tell you, I ache a lot. I have one very little minor med that I take for it because I can't afford biologicals and all that fancy stuff. Okay. Well, we're coming to another really busy street, and the light for us is always really long. So I guess you just have to talk to me for a while. Yeah, we're on Academy Boulevard, which is another one of those 8-lane streets. Yeah, that is the one really bad thing about the Rock Island Trail. We cross a lot of major streets. We cross Powers, we cross Academy, we cross Union. Okay, Joe. So yeah, we do have to cross quite a few really major streets. Oops, sorry about that. I hit the camera with my knee. Nice Mustang. Woo, that's pretty. Yeah. I'm a guy. What can I tell you? I'm very fond of Ford Mustangs and especially fond of Chevrolet Corvettes. Used to be a Camaro guy, but I'm sorry, the new Camaros, they're fat and they're ugly. That's just all the way I feel about it. They're fat and they're ugly. I know they're badass horsepower because they're like the big Dodges, you know, but they're ugly. They're just huge. They're boats. They used to be sporty and really cool looking, you know, in the 60s and the 70s, and then by the end of the 70s, but basically by about 78, they started getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And it kind of happened to the Vet too. But the new Vets, you know, from 2000, I think 22 on, holy cow, are those things beautiful. Number one, they're like a Porsche or a McLaren. They're mid-engine. They don't even have the engine in the front of the car anymore. It's a mid-engine. And they are gored. They are so bad looking, it's not even funny. And if I was a really rich guy, we'd have a convertible Vet. But unless karma, fate, heaven, whatever above smiles on my wife and finally gives her that Mega Millions Lotto win, there won't be any Vets in my future. In fact, there won't even be any cars in my future. Of course, we really, you know, we'd have to be rich enough to be able to afford a truck or a van. We'd rather have a van and a cargo van. We don't want nothing fancy. We just want to be able to throw our trikes in there and go. Throw our trikes and equipment and just go, you know. Don't want to have to fold down seats or any of that BS. We just want to throw it in the back of the van and haul buns. So we'll have to be rich enough to get a cargo van and a Corvette convertible. Nice combination if you ask me. That is unless my wife looks me in the eye and says, look, you know what? I decided I want to go full-time RVing, and then we're going to buy us a Class C toy hauler. So we can just put the trikes in the RV and head out. That's the goals. That, like I said, this is not a major intersection, it's a minor intersection. But you still have to stop and wait for the lights. And at these intersections, they're what do you call it? They're always long for the traffic that's going north and south. No, east and west. Yeah, east and west on this trail. And north and south, you're lucky if you can get 2 vehicles through the light. Okay. Hey, Joe, I'm going to come up behind you, so spin out. Go. Oh, well, I wanted you to go faster, but that's okay. Had a bike coming across, so Joe didn't quite understand what I wanted, so I was hoping she'd sprint out and I'd go behind her. I think she was waiting for me to sprint out and her to go behind me. It's kind of funny, you know, our trikes are very similar, except for mine's supposed to be the little quicker version, that's all. You know, it's not a race trike, it's just a little quicker. It'd be like the difference between a BM 7 Series sedan and a say like a Series 4, 5, or 6 coupe. Okay, you know, it's just a little quicker, you know, a little cooler, you know. Hers is a touring trike. In fact, it's called a trice, T-R-I-C-E-T. T stands for touring. Now, I ride a Sprint 2 Special Edition, and all 2 means is that it has rear suspension. Now, if this trike would have been a year older, it would have been a trice like hers, a T-R-I-C-E, but it would have been a trice Q for quick. And but I in fact, my trike is a bit of a weirdo. I have the frame from the Sprint model, S-P-R-I-N-T, but I have the boom and the rear end and the front end pieces from a Trice Q. Now they could be from a Trice T too, but I don't think so. But I don't know, because I don't know if they did the same thing, but they you know, they used the Trice, well, I don't think so. I think when they went to the new Adventure, because that's what took over for the Trice T, is the ICE, stands for Inspired Cycle Engineering, Sprint series. I'm sorry, for the Touring series, the Adventure series. So I think they only used the extra older parts on the Sprint model. Because boy, if I could find a an older Adventure Special Edition instead of a Sprint Special Edition, I'd have to think seriously about selling the Sprint and getting the Adventure, because one of the things I like about Joe's trike over mine is that it's taller. The seat's taller. So you're a little more off the ground. It's a little easier to get in and out. I get into mine real easy, but I do have to, I may eventually, as I get older, have to, they have what they call grab bars. And they just kind of stand up, and they have a handle on the end, so you can grab them and pull yourself up. Right now I kind of have to grab the very front of my tire, because you don't want to grab fenders, because fenders will move on you if you try to put weight on them. So I grab the front of my tires, and then I push off the back of my seat with my other hand. And that's how I get off. In my younger days, I used to just be able to stand straight up, but I've noticed I'm having a little harder trouble doing that anymore. So I may eventually have to get me a grab handle put on here. Joe looks like she has a grab handle, but she really doesn't. But she can use the, she can kind of use the bottom extension of that handle that she has her unit on to pull up too. And she's got a spare on the other side, so she could just kind of grab both of those and pull herself up if she wanted to. I can't do that because my bars don't, because this trike's lower set, my bars don't come up far enough to where I could get my hands right there. They'd be under my thighs, so my, you know, that wouldn't work too good. So I will definitely need the puller, or the handle, you know, the helping hands deal. Because when I get my assist, I'm going to have them set up the display just like Joe's has. See, this is Joe's display right here. So it's right in her face. You can see it right there. All she has to do is, anything she wants to do, she just changes real quick, you know. And she's got the up and down button, you know, to change the different screens, and it's just right there, all four, you know. So we just had that done, probably a month ago, 2 months ago at the most. And she's pretty happy with it. So, because before it was so low that her hand was in the way. Plus, too, it wasn't giving her any room to put her hand on the handlebar grip. So that turned out real good. And the nice thing about it is the bracket we got for free. A friend gave it to me because I was going to try to mount a camera there, but I really like this handheld. Camera because, you know, you can do so many different views with it. It's a lot of fun. I can go to each side. I can talk to you. I can have Joe talk to you. You know, well, when she's not driving. I can put her like way down here so you can see ground level, you know. Oops, I gotta back up here because we got a bike coming down. I only hog up the trail when there's nobody coming. And you can tell he's much faster than we are. Everybody's much faster than we are. We're so slow we get wind rush from turtles. No, we're not quite that slow. But we haven't found a snail we can't beat yet. That's right. But like I said, this is mainly for, well, we did have a couple of errands. We needed to go someplace to find us an iced tea. And the one real errand we had was not successful, which it doesn't surprise me. So Joe's going to have to get back on the phone and yell at T-Mobile about getting us back our refund that we're supposed to be getting, sending us a check, because we paid by cash. We never used a credit card. So they tried to pawn it off on one of the local stores, and the local store says, oh no, you got to get a check from corporate. So yeah, so it's past the buck time. So I'll be real surprised if we ever do actually get, it's only like $35 or something like that. So, but I'll be surprised if we ever get it. I'll be stunned. Okay, we're at another intersection, of course. This is Union Boulevard. This is where we go if we're going to go food shopping. We go right down the trail down here, and then we pick up an alleyway through an apartment complex, and then we head down over to the Walmart neighborhood marketplace. There we go. That's where we do most of our shopping. Excuse me. Oh, it's getting to be late afternoon, and in the heat, I'm an old guy. I yawn. Let's go catch the road. This path is just so bumpy. It's a real shame because this is the older part of the path, and it's just so bumpy. So we're going to go down here and catch a side street. The side street's bumpy, but it's not anywhere near as bad as the trail is. Because the trail has 2 and 3 inch cracks all the way across it. And for some reason they won't put the, you know, the tar stripping in, you know, the liquid tar like they do here on the roads. Yeah, they just won't do it. I've asked. There's a lot of stuff I've asked that the city just ignores me, or tells me just flat ass no. Where are you going? What are you doing? Oh, don't worry about it. Unless you were in e-assist. I'm in no hurry. Hey Joe, we should probably stop at Safeway and get eggs, tomato, and what else? There's something else. Ugh, I can't remember. To get us through the next couple of days. No, I don't think we need milk yet. You've got plenty of milk. You don't use a lot of milk. So we're going to go this way. So basically we're just doing back streets. We're heading to the Old Bond Shopping Center, little Safeway that we use. And when we get to there, I'll probably call it a day for the video, because probably we're going to have to run back to the apartment and drop off the eggs and the tomato and whatever else I can think of that we were supposed to get, and I can't remember. I need to write stuff down. I think it was just eggs, tomato, and milk, but we decided we didn't need the milk. Oh, now I know. I was going to look for some of those little hard Cliff Bars. So when I run out of cookies for my afternoon snack, I'll have those. I've been eating a Fiber One cookie for my afternoon snack because it has, you know, lots of fiber and it has very little sugar. only has 2 grams of sugar per cookie. That's very little when you figure a normal sugar cookie has 22 to 36 grams of sugar. Oh, real heavy bump. Sometimes the gutters are, you know, where they do the drainage dips, we call them. Those are kind of mean. I should have slowed down a little more. Oh man! And sometimes in the shade you can't see these little potholes, man, and they bite you. Oh, like that one. 2 in a row, BJ. I gotta quit paying attention to the video and pay attention to the road here. But yeah, that like I said, the main reason for this ride was another clear camera case test. Not a camera test, but a camera to see if by taping up the 2 accessory holes, it got rid of some of the wind noise. Because the first time I had it on, I didn't have the big one taped over, and it had lots of wind noise. So the second time I taped over the big one, but we still had quite a bit of, not as much noise, but when we were going slow, but when we were going fast down a hill, it was picking up kind of a high, more of a high frequency, you know, noise. And I think that's because it was whistling through the, you know, trying to force its way through the little tiny hole that they have for the microphone, you know, in the camera, because it's built into the camera. They have a little tiny hole above it in this this screen, or this clear case camera holder, and so I put a piece of electrical tape over that one, and I'm hoping that, like I said, with the open back, we'll be able to, you'll still be able to hear me. So, if you hear music instead of my talking, that means it didn't work. And that by taping up the microphone hole, the sound couldn't get through the open back. But we're hoping this will work, because I really like this case, and I also like, you know, I like to talk to you guys, tell you where we're going, what's going on, you know, talk about different things. And if I get the original GoPro 3 case, the waterproof case, it has no holes whatsoever. So I doubt seriously you could hear me talk at all. And then I'd just have to run music on my videos, and then I'd have to, I guess I'd have to, if I wanted to add voice, I'd have to add it in while making the video. And I'll admit I'm not real good with that. You know, getting everything queued up, you know. To where the video and the voice actually match. That's the hard part. Plus too, it would take an immense amount of time. And I really, really, really don't want to get that heavily involved. I enjoy shooting the videos, you know, for me and, you know, Joe and I, and plus too, it kind of gives our grandkids and great-grandkids something they can check out and really see our face once in a while.
We're all out of state.
Yeah, because all of our grandkids and our great-grandkids, and we have several now, are out of state. You know, I mean out of state. I mean Tennessee, Pennsylvania, you know, Alabama, I mean, they're a long ways from Colorado. All right, a little stop sign here. Yeah, we're coming up on our little Safeway here. This is a very old store, and it doesn't have anywhere near as much items and stuff as a more modern Safeway, but it's so nice that it's only a half a mile from where we live. So we're able to, you know, if we just need a few food items, we can just walk over here. We've got to, and if we need a little heavier stuff, we've got a we've got a pull cart. You know, you pull behind you, and okay, we're gonna have to try to squeeze past this UPS truck here. Yeah, there it is. No, you ain't gonna let me in, asswipe. Sorry for that, but it makes me angry when people cut you off. Oh man, I was hoping for some shade, but there's nothing here. Well, you know what? What we are gonna do is we're gonna go over here. We're going to go up on the sidewalk here and get some shade. Howdy. Oh boy, I don't know if I'm going to make this. Not quite. Got to back up a little bit, and now. Okay. Now this at least puts us in a little shade. It's too hot to be sitting in the sun. Okay, well, as usual, let me do my flip-ups here. Just want to say, if you're new to our channel, we really like the fact that you decided to ride with us today. Really appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, man, we really appreciate you. We were always surprised that we're over 250 subscribers now, and just always surprised that you know, people will watch what we do. And all right, well, if you like the video, please do me a favor, hit the little thumbs up button and give us a thumbs up. If there's something wrong, give me a thumbs down, and let me know. Leave me a message and tell me, and I'll see if I can't fix it. Some things I can't do, you know, I can't do anything about like the camera bounce and stuff, because my equipment's too old to have a stabilization program. And they're just, I can't afford anything newer, and I'm really sorry about that. But unless one of you guys got a spare, you know, GoPro 10 or 11 laying around, you just want to donate to me, right, yeah, sure. You got a bridge you'll sell me in Arizona too, I know. But also, if you want to be notified when our next new video comes out, what you want to do is click on the bell logo, okay? And that'll automatically let you know when our next video is coming out. And any music that I do have on there is from the either from the free YouTube free music library, or it's copyrighted music that is been okayed to use on YouTube only. And that's if you don't have a monetary channel, which we don't. We don't ask you for any money. We'll never have a you know, like a PayPal thing where you could give us, you know, give us money and all that kind of stuff, or that Patreon deal. That's not us. This is just for, if you enjoy it, great. You know, otherwise, we're not going to make anybody pay for this. I guarantee you. So from BJ and Joe, and out and about on Recumbents here on a very warm Thursday afternoon, we're going to say, remember, ride low, ride slow, and always ride recumbent. Have a great one, guys. Till next time, see ya.